Introduction. If nursing was the fast track to wealth, half of us would have retired by now with matching compression socks and a Costco membership. Instead, we're still negotiating our schedules like hostage situations and wondering how a 12-hour shift can somehow not cover a random emergency expense. That gap between effort and outcome is not a personal failure. It's a system problem. And this book is about learning how to move inside that system without losing your mind. By 2026, we are beyond tired. We are tired. The kind of tired that no bubble bath, vision board, or just change your mindset speech can fix. We've read the self-help books. We've watched the motivational videos. We've been told to wake up earlier, hustle harder, and manifest more, usually by people who've never worked a double or wiped down a call late at 3 a.m. So let's get this clear right now. This is not that book. That's exactly why it's called I'm Trying to Get Rich Off Nursing, not How to Get Rich Off Nursing. There is no secret vault of nursing wealth that unlocks once you think positively enough. Nursing doesn't magically make people rich. If it did, nobody would need overtime, side hustles, or a group chat called Who's Picking Up? What nursing does give you is proximity to systems, to skills, to chaos, and to opportunity. Most people are never taught how to use that proximity on purpose. This book is about that part, not follow these steps and quit your job by Friday. Not I cracked the code and now I'm here to preach. Because anyone telling you they have the formula is lying or selling something extra. This book is not a promise, it's a process. A motivational quote before we get started. Then came the epiphany. You were never just a worker. You were just never taught where to look. Seeing the shadow economy doesn't mean you abandon care. It means you stop being invisible inside it. Principle 1. Healthcare is an ecosystem, not a ladder. Most people walk into healthcare believing they've stepped onto a ladder. You start at one rung, work hard, keep your head down, and eventually move up. That's the story. It's clean. It's comforting. It's also the reason so many good healthcare workers stay stuck longer than they should. Because healthcare does not reward ladders. It rewards ecosystems. An ecosystem doesn't care how long you've been loyal. It doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't care how much you've sacrificed. It responds to positioning, movement, and awareness. And once you see healthcare as an ecosystem instead of a ladder, a lot of things that never made sense suddenly click. Why people who work less hard sometimes make more money. Why agencies seem to thrive during chaos. Why the same shortages repeat year after year with no real fix. Why frontline workers carry the heaviest load while others quietly profit around them. In a ladder mindset, the goal is up. In an ecosystem mindset, the goal is around. Money in healthcare rarely flows straight up from CNA to nurse to manager to executive. It flows sideways toward recruiters, agencies, trainers, consultants, vendors, auditors, educators, and administrators. Many of these roles don't touch patients at all, yet they are paid more consistently and with less physical cost. That's not an accident. That's design. CNAs, especially, sit in a strange position inside this ecosystem. They are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They touch patients, families, nurses, supervisors, schedulers, and systems daily, but are rarely taught how the system actually works. They see the cracks before anyone else, but are rarely invited to the table where cracks get discussed. That proximity is not useless. It's underutilized. Here's a real-world example. 2 CNAs start at the same facility, same shift, same pay, same workload. 5 years later, one is still picking up extra shifts, hoping the next raise will finally make things easier. The other noticed early on that turnover was constant. New hires were overwhelmed. Training was rushed. So they started helping new CNAs off the clock, explaining workflows, answering questions, teaching shortcuts that weren't dangerous, but weren't written down either. That second CNA didn't get promoted right away. They didn't get a trophy. But they gained something more valuable: visibility, trust, and insight. Eventually, that turned into tutoring, then a prep class, then a training opportunity. Same ecosystem. Different movement, The difference wasn't talent, it was perception. Here's the uncomfortable question most people avoid. Who benefits when healthcare workers believe the only way forward is to wait? Because waiting keeps you predictable. Predictable workers don't disrupt systems, and systems love predictability. When you believe healthcare is a ladder, you accept delay. You accept someday. You accept explanations instead of options. When you understand it's an ecosystem, you start asking different questions, not emotional ones, strategic ones. Who gets paid when staffing fails? Who profits during shortages? Who charges more when chaos increases? Who makes money without clocking in? Those answers are your clues. Exercise. Take a blank sheet of paper. Put your current workplace in the center. Now, around it, write every role, service, or entity that touches it, including staffing agencies, recruiters, trainers, compliance officers, surveyors, vendors, auditors, educators, consultants, schedulers, tech platforms. Circle the ones that make money without working shifts. Those circles are not random. They exist because the ecosystem needs them and pays them to solve problems you experience every day. This exercise isn't about jealousy, it's about awareness. Once you stop trying to climb healthcare and start learning how it actually moves, you stop feeling trapped. You stop waiting for permission. You start positioning yourself. And this is just the first shift in thinking. Nothing else in this book works if you still believe loyalty alone leads to wealth. It doesn't. Understanding the ecosystem is how you stop surviving healthcare and start using it. Principle 2. Not all money has the same job. One of the biggest traps healthcare workers fall into isn't low pay. It's confusing what their money is supposed to do. Most of us were taught that money is just money. You earn it, spend it, and hope there's enough left over. That belief is especially dangerous in healthcare, where exhaustion makes people chase any extra income without asking whether it actually moves them forward. Here's the truth most self-help books skip. Not all money has the same job. Some money is meant to keep you alive. Some money is meant to replace your job. Some money is meant to buy your freedom. If you treat all income the same, you'll stay busy and broke, no matter how many shifts you work. Healthcare workers are especially vulnerable to this because the system trains us to equate effort with worth. Pick up another shift. Say yes again. Help out one more time. The money comes in, but it disappears just as fast because it was never meant to do more than keep the lights on. That's survival money. And survival money has a short lifespan. Here's where people get stuck. They try to build a future using money that's only designed to help them survive the present. Overtime is a perfect example. Overtime feels powerful because the check is bigger. But overtime money is fragile. It relies on your body, your availability, and your willingness to keep saying yes. If you get injured, burned out, or simply done, that money disappears. That doesn't make overtime bad. It just means overtime has a specific job, and that job is temporary reinforcement, not long-term strategy. Now, let's talk about replacement money. Replacement money is income designed to do one thing, give you an exit option. It doesn't have to be glamorous. It just has to be reliable. Agency work, travel contracts, tutoring, teaching prep classes, or running a small service business can all become replacement money. Once replacement money is stable, your job stops being a trap and starts being a choice. Then there's freedom money, the kind nobody explains because it doesn't show up quickly. Freedom money is built slowly. It's boring. It's unsexy. It comes from systems, ownership, education, media, and services that don't require your presence every time they earn. This is the money that changes how you breathe. This is the money that lets you rest without panic. Most healthcare workers never reach freedom money, not because they aren't capable, but because no one ever taught them to separate these categories in the first place. Here's a simple example. A CNA picks up overtime to pay off debt. That's survival money doing its job. But then they keep picking up overtime even after the debt is gone because it feels productive. Meanwhile, they never invest time into building something that could replace even one shift a week. Years pass. The hustle continues. The exit never comes. The mistake wasn't working hard. The mistake was misassigning the money. Now here's the uncomfortable question. Are you using survival money to fund survival or to fund escape? because that answer determines everything. Critical thinking moment. If your income disappeared for 30 days, what would break first? Your bills, your peace, your sense of control. Those answers tell you what kind of money you currently rely on. Exercise, assign your money a job. Take your last 3 sources of income, shifts, side work, bonuses, anything. For each one, label it honestly survival, replacement, freedom. If everything falls under survival, that's not a moral failure. It's a strategy gap. Now here's the important part. Choose one income stream, just one, to intentionally convert into replacement money over the next 6 months. That means stabilizing it, systemizing it, or growing it just enough that it could cover one essential expense. One shift replaced is one chain loosened. This principle matters because hustle without direction leads to exhaustion, not wealth. And healthcare already takes enough from your body and your mind. Your money should be working harder than you are, not the other way around. Once you understand that money has jobs, you stop chasing every opportunity. You start choosing the ones that actually move you. And that's when effort starts turning into leverage.